Hello guys, JP Mitchell here, back today for another video. This is going to be on my autism recovery story and how I did therapy at home, in Langford, and in school. So my story officially begins in 2003-2004 when I was approximately 4 years old. And this is where all my language that I once had, all my crawling, all my speaking, all of that went away. And I was placed into the world of autism, which is where you are alone, you have no one to turn to, you have no one to talk to. So for my character, that's exactly what happened. And Mitch and Peggy, um, at the time, they just didn't know what to do. Now the professionals at Sunny Hill um, and the Queen Alexandra Hospital, Children's Hospital, if you know what I'm talking about here, um, we did a program called the Anscombs project, which worked for us as a family, and we went back there like more than one time. And the professionals told us specifically as a family, they told us that, well, your son JP Mitchell is a perfectly normal autistic child. He has normal behavior for an autistic child. And Mitch was like, okay. So Mitch is a father, he just didn't know how to take that. But you guys thought that the therapy ended at home, right? No. It continued for at least 4 to 5 years. That's right, guys. I did therapy for 4 to 5 years. So the applied behavior analysis at home was the first step. Then I did therapy in Langford, which is another portion of that therapy. And then in school, once I got into school finally, I did some even more therapy, like being potty trained, learned how to listen, to talk, to go on runs in PE and all that, which I did that in AMCS, which is good. And also how to listen to my name being called, which is something that I could have never have done when I was little, back when I was autistic, of course. And so from my childhood, I just had like zero language. Like all that eye contact, all that communication, all that relating to people, looking at Mitch and Peggy, none of that was there in my childhood. Like 0% of that was there. And the reason for that is because when I was lost in my own world, what people don't understand is that when you're trapped in your own world of autism, you don't have any skills. So for me, I didn't have those skills back then to break myself out of my autistic world and bring myself into my parents' world. That was the problem. So by the time we got the therapy rolling at home here and of course in Langford and in school, all that therapy led up to me no longer meeting the diagnostic criteria for an autism spectrum disorder anymore. So that to me was good, and then at the age of 18, I fully recovered from autism as a EMCS high school graduate, and then at the age of 20, my details were all cleaned up, like my symptoms that I once had. And now here I am at the age of 24, I'm living proof that autism is treatable. Not really curable, because we don't use the word quote-unquote cure for autism, but we just use the word treatable, right? So I love how my story begins in 2003, 2004 when I had like no language, no eye contact, no communication, no listening skills, no hugging skills, no relating to other people. I didn't have any friends. I wanted no friends. So for me to go from that to where in EMCS in grade 11, in EMCS before grade 12, when I'm 17, once I was no longer in the world of autism, then I made some friends. I made some new friends. I had at least one girlfriend I had. I protected my classmates, my friends, my peers, like Michael and Peyton and all that. Stood up to Jacob, Kelvin, Natasha, who were obviously bullying me and teasing me and making fun of me. Because back then, you guys have to realize that when I was being bullied, I didn't even know that I was being bullied, right? So that's the whole autism ideal, is that when you are being bullied, when you're recovered from autism, then you know how to respond, you know how to react, and you know how to deal with it, right? So that's my story, guys, and I hope that all you parents out there who do have children with autism, because I know a lot of you do, like my video. Please, if you can, send me more video views on my perfect autism recovery video. Um, show some love and some support for 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 the great thing that I'm doing here. Putting these videos out. And there's one more thing I want you parents to know, is that this is really important information, is that you need to get funding, right? You need to have funding for your child to receive the therapy that they need. First, you need an early diagnosis, right? Then you need to get your child tested to find out what autistic scale they're going to be placed on, either on the severely autistic scale, the mild scale, or the moderate autistic scale, right? Because for me, I was placed on the moderately autistic scale at Sunny Hill in 2009 when I was 11 years old, right? So anyway, I hope that all you parents enjoy this video, and I hope that this will encourage you to focus on that 2-year gap before it grows and increases, right? Because if you wait, then that gap's going to be 3 years, it's going to be 4, and then it's going to be 5, and it's going to continue to go on, right? So let's get this video going, guys. Let's do it. Let's go.